Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave, and on this channel we talk about wealth and wealth creation and ways to grow our net worth. And today we're talking about options again and whether it's possible to trade options if you just have a small account. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Stick around. Whoop! Okay, I'll be right there. All right, so can you sell options with a small account? Perhaps the better question is, should you sell options with a small account? I started this channel with the idea that I was going to show people how to build wealth, how to increase their net worth, how to become financially independent. And I think YouTube has been truly amazing at bridging a gap that's always been there. Money has often been considered a kind of a taboo subject for several people. There's also the fact that some people just don't have good guides in life. Nobody has shown them how to do things. And money is important in our society. It's not health, which is up here. It's not relationships. It's down here somewhere, but it is important in order to function within our society. So with YouTube, you can jump right on. You can watch all these multimillionaires talk about how to trade options or how to buy stocks or real estate. And you can kind of form your own opinion based on all this great input. So I think that's really important. With all that said, I would be remiss if I did not say before you jump in and start trying to trade options with a small account, you should make sure your emergency fund's taken care of, right? 3 to 6 months of living expenses. And over here, you should have something automated where you're taking $100, $200, $300 a month and you're sticking it into something like an S&P 500 index fund, right? Because those are building blocks. That's where you really want to start. So for me, my personal experience was I graduated from school, I got a good job, I met some people, started a company with them, we grew that, we spun off some more companies, right? Then I started buying stocks and everything else, and over here I was buying real estate that I was renting out. Suddenly I had all these different streams of income, and then I said, let me check out options. So I started exploring that space, and I started adding that to my portfolio because I saw it as a separate enough as being, independent income stream. So that's where I'm going with all this. So that's why I'm saying, should you? So you need to make sure you have some of these things, checks and balances. I can still kind of show you, give you my opinion, but that is something to be considered.
Boom, and good morning. Sorry that life gets in the way sometimes, and you have a nice Friday night with your family. So good morning. We're going to jump back in on this. So can you sell options with a small account? Yes, I think you can, but let's put some criteria around that. So how much do you have? Do you have $50,000? Because then you're fine, no problem. But if you chop off a zero and you're down to $5,000, can you make $5,000 work? Yes, I think you can. How about $2,500? You're getting pretty close to the bottom. How about $500? Yes, you still can. We'll talk about a few strategies, but you're going to be really limited. So let's use that $5,000 and let's walk through an example. My favorite strategy is, trading the wheel strategy, selling puts and closing out those positions. But if it ever does get put to me, then I start selling the calls, right? And that's the wheel. So if you're going to do that, let's work backwards through that strategy first with $5,000. So you got your $5,000 means you can buy one contract up to $50 a share, right? So because it's 100 shares. So what are some stocks you could put into this basket? And I would say go hunt down 5 to 10 that fit your criteria that you would really like to own, because that's the main thing for me. Am I willing to own this stock? So, start compiling that list and then start narrowing it down, your focus, till you find the one that you want to make that first trade. All right, so I started thinking about this, and the first stock that came to mind was Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. And I'll show an example right now. This is one option out about a month, $38 strike price, so about 5% away from where we are right now. It's a put out about a month. And if you executed this transaction, it looks like you get about $26 or $27. You put that in your pocket and you decide your next move. If the stock goes up, well, I guess you probably close it out and you could repeat. If it goes down a little bit, you can wait and see. You can close it out at any time, of course. If it goes down too far and it gets put to you, well, I think you're kind of happy, right? Because at $38, that's a pretty good price for Pfizer. You can collect the dividend for a while, or you can turn right around and start selling the call to generate more income. If it continues to drop, again, you turn on things like DRIP and you collect that dividend and you reinvest right back into Pfizer. So this is a good option. This is a good way to get started with options. This is just one that came to mind. There are plenty of others out there. Two other points about this trade, that tax man. If you collect a lot of premiums, you're going to owe a lot of tax. So always set aside some for those taxes in the future. Keep track of it. The other thing is, I would never suggest, if you have a small account, that you trade with a margin account. I know a lot of people I want to get going, I want my margin account. I would not do that. I would keep the collateral there that you need. In this case, $38, so $3,800 available in case you need to buy the stock. All right, so the next one I want to touch briefly upon is actually buying puts and calls. And I think this is a little bit of a trap. I just want to talk about it briefly. But people that come in that have $500 and they're like, oh, I can make 5 times my money real quickly. Yes, but you have to know things that I don't know, right? You have to really follow the money. The Nigerian brothers have Market Rebellion. You want to go join their website. You want to do a deep dive, understand unusual trading activity and everything else before you plunk down any money, because otherwise it'll be gone in no time. So for me, this has always been a little bit of a losing strategy and one that I'm not capable of executing well. So I can't tell you to go do this, but the barrier for entry is low. If you decide to go down this route, just do your research. All right, yeah, trading options is fun. Here's a third way to go about it. What if on Monday you just go out and you buy 100 shares of Pfizer or the stock of your choice? So let's stick with Pfizer and let's look at an example here of how this might play out. You buy 100 shares, you immediately turn around and you sell the call, right? So we look out about a month, $41 strike price. It looks like I would collect around $46, $47. I get to put that in my pocket. I go have a nice sushi dinner. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. If the stock value increases all the way up to $41 and that gets sold, I make another $100 on the stock appreciation. So 2 sources of income, right? Well, what if we also time this around maybe the ex-dividend date? So we sell a call out past the ex-dividend date. Well, then we have a third source of income, right? So now we're hopefully collecting the premium. If it goes up, we also have the stock appreciation, and now we get to add into it the fact that we're going to collect a dividend payment too. So all 3 of those things could happen. We're feeling pretty good about that trade. Well, Dave, what if it goes down? How am I protecting the downside? Well, you collect your premium still, right? The stock value goes down, and maybe you turn drip on. So when that dividend does roll in, you buy more Pfizer stock. So now you've won in 2 different ways. So this, with value stocks that you don't mind owning for a while, can definitely play out. If you're a brand new investor, this is a great way to go about it, because this will show you exactly how to get creative and think about options, and maybe you can incorporate them into your own portfolio. Great way to step in. All right, last one I want to mention. It's an honorable mention. This probably won't work out for a lot of people, but if you own 100 shares of a stock, let's say it's Pfizer again, we'll use that as our example, and maybe you bought it at 30 and it's all the way up to 40 now. You could go out and you could buy a put. This is a form of protection or insurance that some people use. So in this case, it's at 40. If it continues to rise, well, you're going to lose some of that put value, and you probably want to close it out. You probably lose a little bit. But based on this example here, it's only going to cost you about $80. So a few days go by, stock continues to rise, you can close it out, right? Learning experience. I lost a little bit of money. Now I understand it, but my stock value went up in value, so I did get that stock appreciation. Now, if it goes down in value because you think it's overvalued now, well, now the great thing is this put that you purchased is going to pay off, and you can close that out, and you have a little bit of extra income. So just another way to play it. I think, if you are in the market and trying to understand options, a great way to do it is just do one little position. Follow it through for a month, analyze it, see if it works out for you, adjust your strategy, and repeat. Slowly do it over time. You're going to come up with something that you think works well for you, and you track it and you see how you're doing. Okay, so there you have it. Hopefully we answered all the questions. Can you? Yes. Should you? Well, that's another question that's difficult to answer. Do you have your emergency fund taken care of? Are you putting some money away routinely into an S&P 500 index fund? I'd probably take care of those first, but I am not a financial advisor. This is just what works well for me. So please take it with a grain of salt. Make sure you do your own research and you understand these things before you jump into them. So if you have any questions at all, shout down below. Please like and subscribe. We'll have more content like this coming out. Really appreciate you listening. Have a great one. Take care. Whoop!